What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another video. Now it's time for a trip to Saudi Arabia as the WWE presents the 2021 edition of Crown Jewel. Join us now as we recap the WWE's Mega Money show and analyze the show for the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. It seems like Heyman has regretted his decision. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. And we start off with the pre-show, which is a non-title match between SmackDown Tag Team Champions Jey and Jimmy Uso versus the Hurt Business. Now the Hurt Business isolates Jey Uso, working him over for much of the match until he makes the hot tag to Jimmy. The announcers note that while this is a non-title match, a win by Benjamin and Alexander would undoubtedly help elevate them on the Raw Tag Team division, as if that's gonna happen. The Usos are too much though, and the stereo super kicks by the Usos take out Shelton, followed by Cedric. Jey hits the Uso splash on Cedric, covering him for the win as the Usos retain. It's then time for the main show, and the show opens up with a Hell in a Cell match between Seth Rollins and Edge. It's clear early on that both superstars are looking to end each other's career. After many back and forths, Seth put Edge through a table off the ladder with a sunset bomb. Damn, what a table spot that was. Rollins then super kicks Edge repeatedly, even taking a steel chain and wrapping it around his boot for added impact. Seriously, that's the first time I've ever seen that. However, when Seth goes for the curb stomp on a chair, Edge grabs the chair and drives it into Seth's nether regions. Edge then locks in the crossface with Seth's steel chain as Seth panics and reaches for a wrench. Edge then grabs a wrench and uses it to choke out Rollins, but just as Seth seems ready to give, Edge releases him and then places Rollins' head right on the chair, delivering a devastating curb stomp for a pinfall win. The next match of the night is Ali versus Mansoor. This is an excellent match as fans are clearly behind their native son, but both men showcase their in-ring abilities, suggesting that it's anyone's match for the taking. After several near falls, Ali goes for the 450 splash, but Mansoor rolls out the way, delivering a spinning neckbreaker as he jumps over the top rope and covers Ali for the 1-2-3. The streak continues. But then it's not all over as Ali attacks Mansoor after the match, beating him down until what looks like Storm Shadow from the G.I. Joe character series makes his way down to the ring. Now, it's not Storm Shadow, it's Saudi Arabia's Tarek Hamadi, who won silver medal in karate at the recent Tokyo Olympics. Ali looks like he wants to throw down with him and foolishly walks right into a super kick, knocking him down for his trouble. Mansoor then celebrates with Tarek as the fans cheer. And next up, a very nice moment as Natalya is in the ring with a group of women who are breast cancer survivors. Each woman is given a pink championship belt. After that, it's the Raw Tag Team Championship match as RKBRO take on Omos and AJ Styles. Okay, the start of the match is Riddle hopping on one of the camels at ringside and is used to make his way down to the ring while Randy Orton watches in what can only be described as a mix of amazement and confusion. Seriously, Cole had the line of the night as Riddle is riding high. Now this is a relatively short match that sees the champions focus on keeping Styles in and Omos out. Orton clotheslines Omos with the top rope late in the match, neutralizing him momentarily. Styles then goes for a springboard on Randy, but Orton counters with an RKO out of nowhere. Floating Bro seals the deal as Riddle covers AJ for the victory. The tag champions retain. Next up is the Queen's Crown Tournament Finals as Zelina Vega takes on DOUDROP. DOUDROP uses her power and size to gain control, but Vega uses hit and run tactics to stay in the match, slowly wearing down DOUDROP until she seizes a moment, hitting a code red on her and using her mass against her for the 1-2-3. Zelina Vega becomes the Queen's Crown winner. Next up, it's a no-holds-barred Falls Count Anywhere match as the almighty Bobby Lashley takes on Goldberg. Lashley is all business while Goldberg is hot for revenge. Lashley gains the upper hand early on, blasting Goldberg with a chair, then wrapping it around Goldberg's ankle and stomping right on it. Lashley goes for the spear but misses, gloriously hitting the table instead. Goldberg rallies, spearing Bobby, then hits a jackhammer. However, Goldberg doesn't want a pin and he takes off his gloves, throwing Lashley out of the ring, then spearing him through a security barrier, as if we knew that spot wasn't going to happen. Goldberg then takes his time outside the ring, methodically beating Lashley and talking trash as he does. Goldberg places Lashley's head on the steel steps and then goes to drop another set of steps on Lashley, but Lashley manages to get out of the way and staggers towards the back as Goldberg stalks him. The Hurt Business shows up with kendo sticks, handing one to Lashley, but Goldberg quickly dispatches the two and grabs a stick for himself. Goldberg blasts Lashley with the kendo stick, then spears him off the entrance ramp onto the floor below. Lashley counts the lights as Goldberg walks away in triumph. Next up, it's the 2021 King of the Ring Finals as XAVIER takes on Finn Balor. Both men show respect with a fist bump and start off with some amateur wrestling moves, but things quickly speed up with some high-flying moves and then various strikes in Balor's arsenal. Several near falls, including one after Woods superplexes Finn, but Woods avoids a coup de grace, delivering an enziguri and getting a gutbuster suplex to stun Finn. Xavier climbs to the top rope and lands a flying elbow smash, beautifully done by the way, covering Balor to become the king of the ring. After the match, Woods celebrates on the throne as he crowns himself and proclaims he now has the power in the WWE and he can make all the camera cuts that he wants. Next up, it's the WWE Championship match as champion Big E takes on Drew McIntyre. The two superstars' not-so-friendly rivalry features them wearing each other down with suplexes and other strength-filled moves. Things look grim for the champion when Drew delivers a Claymore kick, but Big E kicks out. The two men continue brawling, but Big E then shifts gears, going for a submission on the Scottish Warrior. Drew escapes, but the champion lands a big ending. Drew kicks out and the two men continue unloading with their undeniable power. Big E goes for a clothesline, but Drew ducks. However, Big E grabs Drew and lifts him for another big ending that wins him the match. Big E salutes Drew, but he says he has big plans ahead for the championship. Next up, it's a triple threat match for the SmackDown Women's Championship as champion Becky Lynch takes on Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. The triple threat match stipulation makes it difficult for any wrestler to get the upper hand, but that doesn't stop them from going for double submissions and other off-the-wall scenarios. Perhaps the biggest story of the night is Bianca Belair's powerful performance as she puts on an incredible display of strength, including a one-armed military press. Damn! Ultimately, the boss drags Belair out of the ring and goes for Lynch, but Big Time Beck surprises her with a small package, grabbing the bottom rope for the insurance policy on her win. Becky manages to retain. And finally, it's then time for the main event as Universal Champion Roman Reigns takes on Brock Lesnar. Roman Reigns seems to know he can't afford to let Lesnar take him to Suplex City, and the champion holds onto the ropes whenever Lesnar goes for a suplex. Reigns seems desperate and gambles, hitting a Superman punch on Brock that knocks him right off the apron and then diving over the rope onto Lesnar. That was a big dive. Reigns then takes control with several Superman punches and Lesnar looks like he's down. Lesnar then takes Reigns to Suplex City. F5, but Reigns kicks out. Reigns counters another F5 with a guillotine choke, and then Lesnar powers out and hits a second F5, but regrettably, and kind of unsurprisingly, referee Charles Robinson gets hit and he can't make the count. Paul Heyman throws the championship in the ring and says, "You know what to do." Roman and Lesnar fight over the belt. Brock manages to get it, but then gets double super kicked from the Usos. Roman then grabs the belt and clobbers Lesnar, covering him as a replacement referee rolls in and makes the count as Roman Reigns retains. Now the Bloodline celebrate, but as they do, Paul Heyman looks like he's regretted his decision to throw the belt into the ring. Could Heyman's plans have backfired? Was he actually backing Lesnar and things just worked out so Heyman rolled with it? What do you guys think happened? Let us know in the comments down below. But that was a quick recap, now let's move on to the good, the bad and the downright ugly. As always, we start off with the good as number 1, another colossal kickoff match. Tonight's pre-show delivered a rare inter-brand battle as the Usos clash with the Hurt Business in an exciting encounter. Although the Hurt Business came up short, they looked surprisingly strong against the Usos, and the reality is that a win by the Hurt Business would have hurt the Usos more than helping the Hurt Business, largely due to how poorly Cedric and Shelton have been booked. However, this match has hinted that there could be a sensational series if the WWE builds the Hurt Business right back up. Number 2, a hellacious Hell in a Cell match. Now, Edge and Seth Rollins have put each other through hell over the last 3 months, so it was only right that they ended their 3-match series in a Hell in a Cell match. The problem with the Hell in a Cell match is that they're often used as a crutch to keep a stale feud going, but that wasn't the case here as Edge and Seth found a way to use the cell to fuel their rivalry further, taking it to new levels of brutality and featuring the sick bumps fans expect in the cell. Seth's fall through a table was just one of several sensational spots, including Seth putting Edge through a table with his Sunset Bomb, Seth wrapping a chain around his boot, then super kicking Edge, and of course, Edge curb stomping Rollins on a steel chair. Edge and Seth are masters at their craft, and it showed throughout their series, a series that utilized the classic 3-act format for wrestling feuds, ending with a speciality match to provide a conclusive winner. Obviously, the WWE shouldn't overuse the formula, but they should look to what works and emulate it, adapting it as needed. Number 3, Riddle rides a camel. Fans wondering what camels were doing at ringside got their answer when Riddle decided to ride one down to the ring. Not since Bobby the Brain Heenan rode a camel backwards at WrestleMania 9 in Caesar's Palace have fans seen such a sight, and the look on Randy Orton's face just said it all. Tonight's tag match had 2 purposes, providing an entertaining match for the fans while furthering the odd couple dynamic between Orton and Riddle. Number 4, King Xavier, the year of the New Day. A crown jewel showed why 2021 was the year of the New Day, with Biggie finally achieving World Championship success, Xavier Woods finding single success with his King of the Ring win, and Kofi Kingston stepping back to let his friends have their moment in the sun, whilst also winning the Tag Team Championships earlier this year. Both Woods and Biggie showed that Kofi isn't the only skilled single star in the New Day, and there's no telling how far all three New Day members will go. Number 5. Goldberg delivers. Now, this year's crown jewel proved that Bill Goldberg needs to retire, not because Big Bag Bill put on an embarrassing performance against Lashley, but because it's unlikely that he'll ever have a match this good ever again. He went an incredible 11 minutes and 25 seconds on his way to overcoming and then demolishing Bobby Lashley. We gotta commend him for putting in such a solid effort tonight. And a big time feel. Now, this whole card had a really sort of WrestleMania feel to it, as the card was absolutely stacked. I mean, seriously, this could have passed off as a WrestleMania card, and even though we didn't get any title changes, it still felt that way. Any pay-per-view that has Lesnar versus Roman Reigns in the main event is definitely WrestleMania caliber. But that was good. What about the bad is, number 1, missing McAfee. The Crown Jewel's announced team was missing its MVP, none other than new SmackDown announcer Pat McAfee, unquestionably the best person behind the microphone in WWE right now. The only problem is that the qualities that make him so good also put him in high demand. We wouldn't be surprised if McAfee's other obligations, including his show, prevented him from traveling to Saudi Arabia. Whatever the reason, Crown Jewel's announcing was nothing special, with Cole Graves and Byron Saxton calling the action. Number 2, AJ needs to move on. Tonight's tag match between RKBRO and the team of AJ Styles and Omos proved that Styles needs to move on, as he's done everything he can in the tag division, including helping Omos to grow into a competent wrestler. While he still needs to improve, he's shown he's a fast study and has come a long way from his early days as a lumbering big man. And confusing camera cuts. Now, the WWE dropped the ball tonight when it cut to scenes of the fans missing pivotal 3 counts not once but twice. Now, this isn't the first time the WWE has cut to the fans during a major moment, as Edge's surprise appearance at the Royal Rumble this year was cut short by an inexplicable cut to the fans. Now, there's no excuse for it, and the WWE needs to make an example out of whoever is responsible. But that was bad. What about the downright ugly as the Queen's Crown crashes? The WWE's Queen's Crown tournament seemed like a great way to build up the WWE's women's division, particularly the underutilized undercard. Sadly, it quickly became evident that WWE had no idea what to do with it or the superstars chosen for the competition. Having Liv Morgan bow out of the opening match was all fans needed to know, and while Zelina Vega is an okay enough choice in terms of crown fitting her arrogant persona, the tournament hurts wrestlers like Shayna Baszler and Liv Morgan, 2 superstars who were just starting to enjoy a resurgence. Now, overall, Crown Jewel was largely what you'd expect from the WWE Saudi Super Shows, an all-star card with some good great matches, but an occasional dud thrown in. The finish for the Lesnar vs Reigns ruined what should have been a dream match, and left kind of a bad taste after a fairly good show. What did you guys think of Crown Jewel? Let us know in the comments down below. I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.